For those of you guys who are not familiar with me, my name is AKAnundrum. I am a few things, but one at heart is a serial entrepreneur and a solutionist. And so, what I'm here to do today is not talk about me and what I do. It's really to bring you value from tools and strategy and things that I've learned and that I implement to help you. So, we're going to get straight into it. And this is AKAnundrum's hackathon. Hope y'all like the little play on the word, you know what I'm saying, little thing, so let's go. I'm going to get into 10 useful hacks for you guys, okay? And they're segmented into different categories. So we're going to get into content creation. First, we're going to start with target marketing, and then we're going to get into content creation, and then we're going to get into passive income. We're going to get into generating your first sales if you haven't made any sales, or a way to make a sale if you pivoted to a new industry. We're going to get into time savers. The one thing that used to really get me was, how do I get help? So we're going to get into, getting you some help, and then also helping your help to help you. Then we're going to get into the digital products, and of course, adding an enhanced and sort of a luxury feel, and how to do that item to your customer's experience. Okay. So with no further ado, please, if you don't have your pen and paper handy, grab that now, because we're going to start. Okay. So the first tip, the first concept is targeted marketing, right? So target marketing, and that is understanding your customer's personality. So the one system that I have found that does this better than anything, undeniably, is a system called the bank system that was created by a lady named Sherry Tree. And what she gets into is personality science. So there are 4 different main personality components or attributes that really are present in people. Now, we all have a combination of these, but these are the ones that really come forward. Now, a lot of you guys may have heard of the Myers-Briggs personality test, which helps you to understand if you're an ENTJ or an INTJ. And that's cool, but truthfully, your customer does not care about your personality. They don't care about your zodiac sign. They don't care about what moon you were born under. You need to know about your customer's personality and your customer's temperament. Therefore, you can know how to approach them, pitch to them, sell to them. So the first personality type is called a blueprint. Now, the way to really kind of discover right away if you're a blueprint, if I were to ask you the question, rules are meant to be, what would you guys say? Go ahead and type it in the chat. The vast majority of people will default and knee-jerk and say broken. If that is your answer, you are not a blueprint. Blueprints value things like stability, structure, systems, planning, processes, predictability, responsibility, duty, rules, credentials, titles, tradition. Blueprints are typically found in areas like judicial systems, police, people with uniforms, architects, things that have to follow the rules, where typically the rules could be like life or death. So blueprints are really risk adverse, right? They don't like a lot of risky talk and things like that. Blueprints are attracted to referrals. They're attracted to rating systems. They're attracted to people who have, like, if you are in the field of medicine, if you have PhD behind your name, if you're in business, an MBA behind your name, that's what makes blueprints feel secure. If you meet a blueprint, you're definitely going to give them a firm handshake. If you are late for a meeting with a blueprint, you are not going to get whatever that meeting was about. So I'm quite sure a lot of you guys can kind of picture a blueprint. You may have some in your mind, and you may be one dominantly yourself. So if there were a box, the blueprint lives within the box. The second personality is literally almost the opposite of a blueprint. That is action. That is like a human Red Bull, right? Actions are people who are go, go, go. They are about it. They go, they get it, they grab it. They are for adventure. They like freedom, flexibility, spontaneity, action, opportunity, excitement, attention, stimulation, competition, winning, fun, image. They are there for the VIP treatment. You get into an actions mind if you are dropping names. So if you are hosting something and you have celebs there, if you have the red carpet treatment, that's how you get an actions attention. Actions tend to be late, but they hate to wait. They love, like I said, that VIP special attention to detailed treatment when it comes to actions. They're going to be dressed to the nines. You're probably going to get like a fist bump or, you know what I'm saying, something like that from an action. They're really, really laid back. They don't like a lot of small talk either. They like for you to get right to the point. So if there is a box, the action is out of the box. There ain't no box. They don't like constraint. They don't like rules or any of that kind of stuff. When you meet an action, it's important that you cater to that ego within them. That's how you get their attention. You really want to make sure that they feel like whatever you're selling or doing, it's about them and they are the center of attention. So the next personality is a little bit kind of opposite of action. That's your nurturer. Your nurturer is your community person. That's your teacher, your social worker, your nonprofit person. This is your person who cares. They don't care about what you have. They want to know what you care about. They value relationships, authenticity, personal growth, significance, teamwork, family, charity, ethics, harmony, morality, and contributing. They are not focused on all of your social media followers. They don't care about that. They want to know what impact you are providing for the community, for people, for the earth. If there were a box, a nurturer is going to gift wrap that box or they're going to recycle that box, right? Now, the value that nurturers really, really bring is nurturers are the most trusted out of everyone. If a nurturer is to provide a recommendation or say, hey, this is a great business or endorse you, people tend to listen to them and they tend to trust them because they know that they are not driven by ego or any other alternative motives or something like that, ulterior motives. So that is your nurturer. Now, your last personality type is knowledge. If there were a box, the knowledge built the box. We all probably know a knowledge. The knowledge is your human Google. That is your friend that if you were on Jeopardy, that's who you're going to call, or not Jeopardy, but a millionaire, and you need to phone a friend, that's your friend that you're going to phone, right? The knowledge, they value information, learning, intelligence, logic. Like, do not argue with a knowledge unless you know what you're talking about. They're about technology, self-mastery, research and development, science, universal truths, expertise, competence, accuracy, the bigger picture. Knowledges are attracted to things like stats, data, research, and more than likely, they will go and actually research your product or service before they even come to you. So you really need to make sure that you know what you're talking about, or you've done the research, or you can bring other people forward who can lend to that. So these are your 4 core personality types. Now, we all have a little bit of them in us. Me personally, I am knowledge, nurture, action, blueprint. Why? One, I value knowledge. If you follow me, you know that. One of the things that people always say is like, oh, AKAnundrum's gonna bring the receipts, right? She's well researched. They've gone as far as to trust me to say if she posted or she's doing it, they feel like they really don't even have to go do secondary level research. Knowledge is, we love to share our knowledge, but I'm also nurturing. There's a huge community component to me. If you know me, my main concern has been Black businesses. That's been that way. It's not going to change. So there's a huge nurturing component to me that I try to make sure that I give freely whenever possible. And at the same time, you don't see me doing a whole lot of flash and stuff like that. The action part of me really comes from my creativity and I'm like ready to go, right? So that part of me also jumps in when I have an idea. I'm like really ready to act on it and I go. I was blueprint last. I'm not even gonna lie. I was the person who was always late. I didn't like structure because I'm really creative. But as I've developed in my business, I've become more blueprint because I understand the downside of not being stable or structured and things like that, and making sure that you are aware of people's time. So this is how you have to understand your customer. And where does this matter? When you are pitching to your customer, and pitching doesn't just mean you're going in front looking for investments. When you are advertising to them, when you are marketing to them, you have to make sure that your language is in alignment with what they value. If your language or your community or your tribe is particularly nurturing at core, and you're talking to them in a very action language or blueprint language, you're turning them off. So you have to really look at your product or service, and I want you guys to create a pitch that you would do for each one of these personality types.